Then a voice rings out behind us and seems to bounce off every branch. Polly hastily shoves the resin in her pocket. "Oh, children's!" The voice is out of breath but strong and unmistakable. "Oh, children's, I don't think you understand me." "Be brave, soldier, do not falter now. This is the hour," whispers the general in my ear. Behind us I hear the crunch of crutches on pine cones. "Children's, I know you are playing your famous hide and seek." Polly and I hold our breath as the stag steps gently forward. I'm amazed at how quietly he can go when he wants to, and the wolf cub too, occasionally twisting his head to track the crutch noise. We push through the branches, Polly rigid with fear. I squeezed her hand tight. We are going to escape from Captain Scoldis. We are finding our way out of these woods. We are going through a clearing, and now we are coming to a river. Miles wide, foaming white over rocks, flowing out beyond the banks, too deep to cross, roaring and crashing inside all our heads. A river that is our only way out. "Okay, kidnapper," says Polly, looking at the heavy brown water rushing past. "Where next?" Sniffing the air, the stag mutters to himself. And then they came to the fish road, just as in the dream. Extraordinary. Then he asked me a question. "Now tell me, what are you more afraid of, Kester?" "I don't understand. Tell me what you can see." I can see the mist floating across from the other side of the bank, over a fat stretch of fast-flowing water, which seemed to flow faster the more I stare at it. A fish road, the stag called it. Not that there would be any fish left in there now. And it's torrential. Whole branches are being carried along in a swirl of leaves, and seeds bumping over the rocks that stick out just above the surface like the world's smallest mountain range. "Now look again behind you," says the stag quickly. Twisting round, I can see Scoldis hopping towards us through the pine trees, grinning with one crutch pointed at me and the stag. Behind him, two colours are bent over double, catching their breath. Captain Scoldis is dead calm. "Children's, please, enough of this nonsense. Enough of this silly running competition." He gestures with his crutch. "Hand over the animals, please." "And what do you fear the most?" continues the stag, as if he hadn't heard what Coldis had just said. I realise what he's suggesting. "But we'll drown. I mean the cat, the cub." "Huh, don't worry about me. I'm the best swimmer in my pack," says the cub. Captain Coldis fires a shot into the air. I might have just made the most stupid decision of my life, but there's only one way to find out. "Now!" I yell. The stag rears up and springs off the bank into the river. Polly lets out a long, loud scream, and Sydney shrieks for her life, both howled down by the wolf cub behind us as he too leaps into the water. For a second it feels like we're flying. First the sky and the ground are in the wrong place, and then before we know it we are diving down. With a loud, flat slap, everything goes brown. Pushing up, grabbing Sydney, I gasp as we break the surface again, heaving for air, the wet muzzle of the wolf cub panting eagerly next to me as he paddles to stay afloat. "I can't believe you did that," Polly screams, exploding up out of the water beside me. "You're going to be in so much trouble. You can't just do things without asking anyone." "I can't believe we did that either. The water is freezing. It might be moving fast, but it's a temperature of sheer ice. Every breath you take is like a shock, your body fighting to stay alive." I look around wildly. Sydney's head bobs just above the surface, paddling like crazy, nudged clumsily along by the cub. "That was fun," he gasped between strokes. "I would very much like to do that again. Wouldn't you, Cat?" "In that case," gasped Sydney, "perhaps next time someone could kindly do us the favour of tying you up in a weighted sack first." The wolf cub frowns and steams ahead. I glance back at the pine wood, the bank we jumped off, as the current sweeps us further into the centre of the icy fish road. Captain Scoldus hops along the edge, trying to aim his crutch at us, but we're moving too fast for him to get a clear shot, and before he can, we sweep on and round the bend. Our teeth chattering, we feel the stag's powerful kicks beneath us and try to steer clear of his hooves. I stretch my hands out across the water to Polly. The cold must have gone right through her. She stopped talking. Her lips are completely blue. We link arms together over the back of the stag like he's a life raft, with us drifting along against his sides. It's beginning to get dark. I scoop Sydney out of the water and coil her round Polly's neck like a wet towel. Her fur is soaking and you can see patches of skin underneath. The stag's head is barely clear of the water, his powerful legs moving beneath us as he tries to push through to the other bank across the current, an invisible but rippling line of steel that forces us back into the centre of the fish road whenever he tries to break free. "Stay together," he says. "Whatever happens, we must stay together." There is silence along the banks as we spin and bump past them, but in the distance we can just hear a roaring noise that gets louder with every bend we take. Polly begins to loosen her grip and slump down further into the water. "I think I might have a little sleep," she says, her voice sounding blurry and confused. "You have to keep her awake," orders the general. "This is an order. Wake up, wake up," he shouts, while surfing alternately between Polly and me, nipping at our frostbitten ears. The wolf cub swims up alongside us. "We will easily survive this," he boasts, panting heavily. "I can do anything. I can run the fastest around the water at the ring of trees. I can play catch a white butterfly better than any of the others in my pack. I can jump the highest off a rolling log, and I once pounced onto my father's back and held on for longer than he said any wolf had ever done. He said I was the bravest. He said..." He suddenly goes quiet. I know what he's thinking about. The same thing as me. Dad's. Then, as if she was too, as if there was something in the water, as if she'd been holding it in for ages, Polly suddenly blurts out, "I hope this is all worth it, kidnappers, and that you can help these animals. Your dad had better not be just another horrible facto man like Captain Scoldis or Selwyn Stone. Because if you really wanted to help animals, why would you work for a company that sends a man on crutches to kill them all? Never mind the cold or not being able to speak, I'm too angry to think. All my dad's ever done is help animals get better. It's true that I don't know if he has found a cure yet. I don't even know if he still lives in our home anymore." A fear ripples down through me, colder than any water. Perhaps Polly was right to look strange when she learnt he worked for Facto. So much has changed that I don't know about. Perhaps he has. She pulls at my hands, harder this time. The cat is coiled limply round her neck like a heavy scarf. "Come on, you have to answer. You have to tell me why your dad will help. Why is he so different to the rest of them?" "Because he is. He's always helped save animals. That's what he does." Suddenly, I'm properly angry. I didn't ask Polly to come. She forced her way along. Everything was going fine till we met her and her stupid cat. We wouldn't be here about to drown in this icy water if it wasn't for her. I'm rescuing her cat and all she can do is ask me these stupid questions. Without thinking, I jerk my hands away from her to say, "Shut up and go away." And she does. With a little cry that sounds more like one of Sydney's meows, she falls back, her clothes balloon around her, the cat screeches and the current drags them away. "Stag!" I yell, but it's too late. Before he can even twist around, Polly and Sydney have been sucked further and further on by the pull of the fish road. "I'll go after them, I'll save them," shouts the wolf cub, but the harder he tries, the more the current sends him spinning in circles too. "Sydney!" I cry out, but they've gone. The stag can barely hide his frustration. The she-child wasn't holding on tightly enough. We should never have brought her. This isn't her fault. I'm the one who broke into her house. And then I hear, only just, a cry from Polly in the watery blackness up ahead. We have to help them. We have to get ashore now. We have to. And then the steep bank is close ahead, bobbing silhouettes of tall rushes, boulders scattered everywhere. Now, gasped the stag between short breaths. Jump ashore, go. I cannot climb out over these rocks.